So I'm already on here, and a Great Depression is coming. That's the video. Do you want to go in the house, Rosie? Are you wanting to go in the house? Let me see. I thought she wanted to come outside. You want to go back in? This is kind of strange for you, Rosie. You want to go back in the house? Huh? Okay, go on. Go on, Rosie. You can go. Do you want to go back in? Good morning, Michael. I don't know what Rosie wants to do. She just wants to go in the house. I think she does. There, you tend to her. I got to do a video. Sorry, Rosie. Good morning. Good morning. I still had Rosie on the leash. She acted like she wanted to go back in the house. I just let go of the leash and it just like retracted and went boom on Rosie. A Great Depression is coming. You have to still take a look at last night's video because I heard about that, Michael. Good morning, everyone. Mama Bear, Bonnie, Maltrice, Jen, Wild Wee. Okay, we got you. We got you, you all. So a Great Depression is coming. I was reading, I was just skimming through some articles. I like to look if there's any worthwhile news, which there's always been some worthwhile news. And it's the one that really caught my attention was the dethroning of the U.S. dollar. And because right now all the oil is in dollars, 100% of the oil trade is in dollars, and the other stuff is 80% of U.S. dollars. So with the BRICS forming a new currency in 2023, it will more likely dethrone the U.S. dollar and probably cause it to, depreciate. That's right. But I'm telling y'all, something's coming. You know it's coming. Gina, honey, why don't you talk about it more? Well, I got all kinds of subjects to talk about. I do. I like this. I like doing the reading at night. You know, it really got me. I think it was the day before yesterday. I was in the store at the checkout. A small bag of chips the size of my hand. You know those like chips at the checkout, but was the normal size? $2.47. And I thought, wow, they used to be, well, when we were little, you could get a bag of chips for 50 cents or 30 some odd cents that size. Now, that size, and it's half full of air, only about the size of my hand, half full of air, and that's five times the price it used to be. And you could get a regular size if you ate chips, a bigger size for that price. Yeah, the dollars are worthless. We've been used by the entities. I like that. Now, I do like labels in some instances when one says entities, because then you can be talking about a whole group of entities, and it doesn't have to be aliens, but it could be aliens, it could be demons, it could be anything. Entities that makes themselves rich. Yeah. You went to a corner store, you paid $2. Wow, Hector. Are you all sensing it? It's very, buy carrots. Robert, honey, why are we going to buy carrots? Although I snack on carrots. I will eat carrots throughout the day, fresh carrots. If they're, there for me to eat, I'll eat it as a little snack. Patsy, honey, yes, it's already here. I know it is, and you all know it is, because your dollar, the U.S. dollar does not buy as much as it used to. And its value is quickly deteriorating. And that's a little scary, too, because you go into the stores and things like that, and you see it. No, Rosie, honey, see, listen. You didn't want to go out, and now you want to go out? No, I got to shut the door. I got to shut this door because Rosie's a great big distraction. Come on, Rosie, honey. You didn't want to go out. You came. She come running back in the house because she didn't want to go out. So that's why I shut the door, because she is very distracting. Rosie, honey, you're gonna have to go out later. You go eat your food. Go play with Rosie. Um, yeah, she distracts me. Gina, you're talking about the Great Depression. You don't want Rosie to come out. Well, I brung her out at the beginning of the video, and she stood right there at that door, wagging her tail to go right back in. And so I closed the door. 2 bags of organic, $1.99, and it's healthy. Yes. Willow, honey, the depression is not coming. We create our own reality. Now, I'm going to agree with you on this. Each individual can create within their mind their own reality, and they can perceive the world through their own filters, which creates their reality. Even though the world around us may have a very massive real world reality playing out all around them, but then yet the individual creates their own reality, and they see nothing except what they want to see. I do agree with you on that. And in that sense, I can add to it, even though we create our own reality and the world is falling apart, you don't have to let it drag you down. You can stay at peace within your being and make the best of it, to weather the hard times. If the reality that I'm going to create, it's going to be something like that reality where even though the world is falling apart, I'm going to do all that I can to maintain stability on the inside, and keep the peace on the inside, and keep this love on the inside from shrinking and shriveling up, because I want it to grow just like everyone else. I want to still be me, even though the world's falling apart. Mickey D's a fish sandwich. Wow. $9.99. And even, no, see, and even if you want to cook your own food, if you buy meat or something, I think it's deliberate. It's expensive at the stores too. We got to get used to eating simpler, really. You might have to go back to eating ramen noodles like you did when you were younger, because you didn't have no money to start off. I remember eating ramens a lot, and so do a lot of other people. I remember just eating out of a can of vegetables. That was my meal, because we didn't have no money. You'll do what you got to do to survive. You do. You start learning really quick what's a priority and what's a convenience, really. What's a want and what's a need. The need then is someone put it really good, y'all. We are going to enter a Great Depression. We are. It's going to get really bad. It's already getting bad because a lot of people can't afford things. You eat to live, not live to eat. Okay, that's the difference. Living to eat, or eat to live, to stay alive. Hello there, Debbie. So we know what happens during a Great Depression. There's lots of recorded history. We saw what happened with the Weimar Republic, the wheelbarrows full of useless paper money, and they heated their homes with it. That's the value of their money. And history repeats itself. If you listened to the video last night about the underground bases all over the world, I was reading from a book, and at one point in the book, toward the end of the video, it is literally history repeating itself, a certain power structure that is occurring right now. And it dates back to that time in history. It's an exact replica of the plans that were put into place. So it is repeating itself. And this is not no hyperbole or anything like this. It's not. the US dollar is being devalued. Okay, it is. It's literally you don't have as much purchasing power as you used to have. You can't get much for your money. You used to be able to go to the store and fill your grocery cart up. No, you don't now. You don't do that no more. Listen to the book of Revelation. A quart of wheat for a day's wages, and 3 quarts of barley for a day's wages. So just think to yourself, how much would you make in a day? Say, what if you made $80 a day? A quart of wheat for a day's wages. 1 quart. Maybe that's just the wheat itself. Or a loaf of bread. You know, you're liable to see bread. Well, some bread can get up there to around $10 as it is, depending on what type you get. But most of the bread nowadays, they got some kind of thing that's added to, it's really light. And it's not all bread. It's not, you all. Um, One cannot change reality, only the perception. Thank you, Adam, honey. That's right. Thank you, Adam. That's perfectly said. One cannot change reality. I love that. I really do. Let me repeat it. Only the perception of it. Yes. Good morning in South Africa, Kapesh. That's right. Good morning. That's right, everyone, because it's going to get a lot rougher. People are already struggling. And if you're on limited income, if you're on Social Security, if you're on SSDI, if you're on Medicaid, welfare, it doesn't matter. You retired, you still only have a set amount of income. And what happens if you have 401ks? Stock market crashes and that money is gone and it's not coming back. And they will tell you, oh, well, it'll come back. You just hold on. Well, your stuff is worthless. It's like this. Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath. Your money ain't going to get you nothing. Um, it's best if you better get some tangible things. And even then, if people get sent off to the FEMA camps, it ain't going to do you no good. It's not going to do you no good. You'll have a chance. Do you want to go to the FEMA camps or do you want to fight? That's right. You want to go into captivity? In captivity, you will go. You want to stand fighting? Well, then, if you are to, you'll stand with the sword and you'll die by the sword. Yeah, that's what it says. He who is to go into captivity he will go. And if anyone is to be killed by the sword, he'll be killed. It's a very interesting world, you all. There's clues all around. It is a wake-up call. And the war drums are beating. And it's not just a physical war, like, weapons and stuff. Oh, it's all kinds of war. It's a psychological war. It's a monetary war. It's the destruction of a world that, I don't know, it feels like it's being pulled out. A culture, no matter what country you live in, it's being pulled out by the roots. A way of life being pulled out, roots and all. So they think. They're not going to get all the roots out. They're not, you all. Yes, spiritual. That's right. Wood pulp. That's right. Thank you, Rose Red. That's disgusting. No, I will not. No, I'm not going to do that. But I've personally heard one individual said, oh, if it came down to that, oh, they would. They would go out and do that. They would. No, I'm sorry. Just let me starve to death first. Okay, let me do that. Okay, yeah, because no, I'm not doing that. That's inhumane. It is. I'm not going to do it. No. It's like a creepy movie. In that movie, I think that movie was that the movie called The Road, where apocalyptic thing happened and there was only a few people that survived, and this man and his son were roaming through trying to find, I don't know, and they saw this house, and this woman tried to fend the people off by herself with her family, and these group of vandals or hoodlums came, and they had people chained in the basement. It was the most depressing, gory thing I've ever seen. No, you all, we're talking about the Great Depression, and you think it won't happen here. Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to get better. You can already look around and see it's not getting any better. It's not. It's going to get a lot worse before it would even get any better. Gina, that's pessimistic. No, that's just reality. It is. Look around. People are losing their homes. They're losing their jobs. They don't have enough money to buy their bare essentials and things like that. And stores are going bankrupt. Stores are closing. Um, the Book of Eli. Yes, the Book of Eli. I saw that one too. That was depressing. That was really depressing. That's another one I don't want to watch again either. I saw it one time and that's dark. I don't like that darkness. I know that that darkness could quite possibly become a reality. Yeah, Grand Rising. Grand Rising, everyone. There's no changing what's taken place. There's no changing, Bonnie, honey. I'm gonna politely disagree in a polite way. I'm gonna read your comment, okay? We could change it by stop buying their stuff, stop watching their movies, stop eating fast food, go back to the old times, and love one another. Um, we will go back to the old times, and we will love one another. Okay, we will. But none of this stuff ahead of time that you mentioned there, that's not going to stop what's been put into motion. This is a global economy, a global one. This is so much bigger than even those who feel they know, so much bigger and so much deeper. But that's the only way we're going to make it. So I'm going to agree with half of your comment. Go back to the old times and love one another. That's the only way we're going to make it, you all. That's it. That's it. We're going to have to learn to get along. Learn to get along. You want to be around like-minded individuals is what you want to be around when the going gets tough. You don't want to have somebody spacing out on you. You don't. You really don't. Because that's going to already make a stressful situation even more stressful. You got to let's talk. It really does need to be talked about. Um, it really does. And there's people already thinking about, well, what would happen? How would, there's already people who already plan to go take from those who have. They don't want to prepare. They're going to go do their raids. They're going to do their raids. Yeah. Um, love is the key. It is the key, and love is very healing. It's extremely healing. The digital identification and currency translation held in the palm of your hand, cell phone, mark of the beast in your head. They're going to put you in your head. I did a little video yesterday. It was a live video, a short one, and it's not getting very many views because of the subject matter. But it was that article was written and that trial was written to further the rights of neural-based life forms. They have rights just like human rights because the woman who had the chip in her head, the brain implant that alerted her every time a seizure was coming on, it helped her take her medicine. And hello, Applebrooks, honey, when they removed the chip after the trial was over, she felt lost and alone because she said, this was the exact phrase, became one with the implant. It became a part of her because the algorithm was the thing that was alerting her. So she became a better human, more or less. She felt more alive, and so did the algorithm. And we are one, we are Borg. And you know what that reminded me of also? The two shall become one. It's like it's a duplicating of the creation. It is the story of creation and the story of, yeah. Um, good morning. If you just tuning in, that's right. Yes, Dr. Frankenstein. Iron and clay, Robert. Yes. Good morning, everyone. So we really should repair. Well, repair things that need repaired, you all, really, because you ain't going to be able to get the stuff or the parts if you don't do it now. You may not even get the parts now. I was going through some stuff in my one shed up there. It's cluttered, straightening it up and stuff. And I saw two cases that had chainsaws in them. They were a Pull-On Pro. Of course, we don't use them. And I had taken the blades off, and I think I was going to clean them and stuff. I have all the parts, and I thought, you know what? They've been setting up there because one was my dad's from years and years ago, and one was an original one that we got when we first moved here back in 2004. I thought, you know what? They used to be really good chainsaws, and I didn't take them in to get them serviced, and I should take them in and get them serviced so they can get them up and going. I did. That way I'd have two chainsaws. They just been sitting in the case. And I can work on chainsaws, I can. But I might look at them if I ever get the time. But if you got anything that needs repaired, do it. Do it now while you got the time. Do it now. I mean, you may not be able to get gas for your chainsaws, then you better have a handheld saw also. And it might do you good if, some people have the great big saws that have the handles on both ends and they have somebody help them. That'd be a hard way of life. That's the old times, going back to the old times. But we're entering a Great Depression. They call it a recession. And we have a lot of comforts right now, a lot of bumpers and cushions and stuff like that to help. But it's going to be a hard landing when it all goes down. And there will be, you have to, if you think about it, you have to literally bring the whole entire global system to its knees and break it and rip the foundation out underneath it in order to bring to life a new global system, currency system, the digital age, the digital system, the blockchains, the algorithms. It has to totally collapse, and if that collapses, boom, that's worse than the Great Depression. This will be a greater depression. It really will. That's the only way they're going to be able to fully kick it into gear. Your money going to be worthless one day. It is totally worthless. And it may not be far off before the new currency is totally implemented. And they're already doing it now. They are. They're already allowing you to play. It's not just Bitcoin. There's like all these other currencies. There'll be a current digital currency basket. And all the other countries got it going on too. They do. They're doing it. That way you're issued money. See, how would you like this? So say you get a universal basic income. You get one set amount every month. And you either use it or you lose it because it has an expiration date. You can't save it up because that would be hoarding. So you're going to do your best to use it. And how do you like this? If you get that universal basic income, say you want to buy it on something frivolous, and the one thing that controls it, the algorithm says, no, I'm sorry, you can't. Or the one bank, you want to buy something, the one bank has to authorize whether or not you get to buy that vehicle, that house, that whatever it is you want to buy. They get to say so over how you spend your money. You're going to like it? Gina, honey, it will never come to that. Don't say never. Don't. How else can you have a totalitarian regime if something is not controlling absolutely every aspect of one's life? And even you, because if you step out of line, you're going to get some pulses sent through your body, or you're going to get taken out. That wouldn't be very nice either. So you can have the Great Depression and everything that goes with it, except even worse. A migrant lady said she had $1,000 in food stamp card. Rosie Red, honey, was that here? Is that a lot for right now? I think food stamp card. Oh, okay, yeah, they're calling them migrants now. $1,000 a month, probably. Yeah, I can see where that would happen. I smell honeysuckles out there, you all. I really smell the honeysuckles, and it's kind of cold. Yeah. 3G foodstuffs if you have a lot of kids. Marijuana, Shurkova. What's a 3G food stamp? I've never heard of that before. Oh, 3 grand. $3,000 of food stamp. Yeah, you can eat well. And you know what they do? They will give you their food stamp card for cash. And for like, if you get caught, you're going to get in trouble. But people do that. They do. Give you your food stamp thing so you can get your groceries if you got the cash to give them so they can get their drugs. Not everybody's like that, but there are some. They know how to play the system. I know, Julie. 50 cents on the dollar. M. Mercer, honey, is that what it goes for? 50 cents on the dollar? They're getting food stamps Section B, health care, SSI checks, and Americans are struggling. Yes, and homeless is at an all-time high. It is. It's an epidemic. It is. It's an epidemic. Some homeless will take advantage. They will, you all. I've seen it done. I've heard people talking about it. Well, there's going to be a point where we can't look around and focus on what is happening and how life isn't fair because all this stuff is happening, because it's going to rob us of our peace within. Because you know what? Just because a person has more, some person's getting a lot more, doesn't mean that they're happy. Because true happiness comes from inside here, right inside here, right here. And that's something money can't buy. And money can't buy love. It can't. Money cannot buy that peace that passes all understanding on the inside. So there's got to be a point when a person comes to the realization, you know, they have and I don't have. It's got to be a point when we stop doing that and say, you know what? It's beyond my control anyway. I can't control it. So I'm going to be me and I'm going to be happy. I am. I don't have to be miserable. Gina, well, that doesn't sound right. Well, if I have a choice, I'm going to be happy. I'm not going to I don't want to go into a downward spiral, focusing on what everyone else has, even though I feel it may not be right. And what I don't have, because maybe I want some of that's kind of envy, but it is hurtful and it's not right when you have people struggling to make ends meet, living in their cars, don't have enough money to buy food, groceries, medicine, anything, or even have a roof over their head. It's not nice. It isn't, while others are given that. It's not right. That's the truth, because that's an opinion. It's a personal opinion, and we're allowed to have a personal opinion. Okay, we are. But not all are like that. They're not, you all. But the Great Depression's coming, and the money is not buying as much as it used to. It isn't. And the products are shrinking. I remember years and years ago, they had one shelf of a product, and they had it really tiny. I remember telling my daughter, I said, now watch. As the years pass, we're going to see more products shrinking and shrinking and shrinking until all the shelves are full of little shrunk products. But it's even more of what the regular price was, you all. More of what the regular price was, and that's what it is. You're getting way less for your money. Not all homeless people are bad people. That's right. I totally agree with you, love bug. That's right. And you survive. You survive. You got to live out of your car. That's okay. At least that's a roof over your head. At least you own that car. At least you can get out of that car. You can walk around. At least you have your freedom in that aspect. Isn't that right? That's right. You got your freedom. Yeah. Christine Mott, honey, you're going to be okay regardless, because you're going to have that love on the inside of you that's going to sustain you. You are. And you just keep your chin up, Christine. The labels, they put other ingredients in it. Yeah. Um, yeah, you got to do the work. You can't just sit there and say, God will provide. Well, you got to do something yourself. You got to put forth the effort. Okay. I'm just waiting on God to answer. And you sitting still. Now, there are times you are to sit still. Be still and know that I am God. But if you asking and praying for a situation to change and you physically can do something about that situation, work toward improving that situation in the process, then I can see how something's going to happen. But if you're just sitting there and you don't even want to put forth a single bit of effort to change your situation, and you expect everyone else to do it for you, except God to do it for you, because you probably do have some control over your situation, but you don't want to lift a finger or you don't want to put forth the effort. Don't be surprised if your situation does not change. Okay, don't. I'm just being honest with you. I've seen many people like that. I have. Um, yeah, you got to work. You got to work, you all. And it's good because you know what? You become stronger. You don't want to have to depend on people. You don't want to have to say, well, God did it. God's going to do it. And then the days pass, the months pass, and you're sitting there waiting and waiting, and then you end up losing absolutely everything because you did nothing. Nothing. You saw it happening. You saw the snowball getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you did nothing. When you could have done something to rectify it, you could have at least been working toward rectifying it. Yes, yes, we got to go. We got to flow. That's right. Welcome, everyone. So, a Great Depression is coming, and there are a lot of people who feel that it's already here, and things are already going to get a whole lot worse than they are now. And just because someone doesn't talk about it all the time doesn't mean that it's not in their mind, doesn't mean that they're not preparing for the hard times, because you should prepare for the hard times, okay? And enjoy the life you have now. You can find happiness even in the hard times, believe it or not. Um, I remember my mother telling me when we were growing up and we were small, she goes, we had so little. She goes, but those were the best times. Those were the happiest times. And it was. It was the happiest times. Didn't have all the cares of this world that we have now. We didn't. It was happy times. Yeah. Less can be peaceful, a whole lot more peaceful than more. Because we got to be careful what we wish for, because the more you have, the more you have to take care of, the more responsibility you have. That's right. Um, yeah. We'd be stuck in the wilderness for 40 days, figuring out how to live free, truly. Yeah, that's right, you all. So, a Great Depression is coming. You all share your comments, how you feel about this world. Do you think it's going to get better? You think everything's just going to turn around automatically? And it might look like it's like this now, but just give it a year. Everything's going to turn around for the better. Or give it a few months. There's no depression. It's just all hype. It's just all hyperbole. There's no recession. Stores aren't closing. Prices aren't going up. Our dollar still buys us what we want to buy it. There's still things available that I can get. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing missing. Nobody's losing their homes. Nobody's losing their jobs. Nobody's doing without. Okay. It's going to miraculously boom. No. Okay. That's okay. That's being positive. It is. That's being positive, you all. And that's looking at the world through with your own perception. So that's okay, you all. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Yeah. Grow your own food. And if you see here, we've got, this is tropical, like, this is supposed to be for warm weather. I think this is like ginger root right here that my daughter grew. We got it in the house. And I'm pretty sure you can get that from the store and poke it in there and grow your own. And we got some lemons, only like 3 lemons. But they're real lemons. And look, you would never believe. I would have never thought a lemon can grow on such a tiny thing like that, but it did. And we've got limes. And it's just a small plant, but you need light. Everything needs light to grow, to bear fruit. You want to bear fruit. You want to bear good fruit. A good tree cannot, let's see, a bad tree cannot bear good fruit, and a tree cannot bear bad fruit. You will know them by their fruit. You'll know people by the fruit that they bear. The good person brings good out of the good stored up within them, comes right out of their mouth, comes out of all the things that they do, and the bad person brings out bad out of what's stored in them. Bad stuff coming out of their mouth, they do bad things, that's what it says. Can salt water and fresh water flow from the same stream? Well, there are some instances, I think, where some fresh water and salt water merge, but I don't think you're going to see it coming both out of the same source, okay? If you do, you've got a forked tongue. You got a forked tongue is what you got. You got a double-minded person, split personalities stuck in bodies. Yeah, but Gina, we're not talking about that. I know you are. Great Depression's coming. The hard times are here, and they're going to get worse. Just prepare. And if you don't want to prepare, that's okay. I won't hold it against you. I won't. I won't hold it against you because it's your life. You do what you want. Do what you want, you all. But I would prepare most importantly inside of here, because if you are not stable on the inside of here, if you are not solely grounded and rooted in love, the love of God, the love of Jesus on the inside, it's going to be really hard for you to navigate these stormy seas of life. It is. Love will ground you and see you through. And love will attract to it other love, okay? Like-minded individuals. Love is powerful. It forms a powerful spiritual connection with all the others. You can feel it. And it does make it stronger when you connect with people who have love at the core of their being. It's like you're plugging something into a good outlet, because the source, you got a big master bank, a big electrical box where all the wires flow through, you all. And it can hold it. And the more people can plug into it, it'd be great. Well, spiritually speaking, I'm going to go. With that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. Don't give up, whatever you do. Don't give up. Fight. Fight. This is your moment to fight and stand up and prepare. It is. If you give up, it's all over. You don't want to give up. You don't. Have a